Are you ready? Are you ready?
Travis Wingoodsell. Alright, here's the promised forecast for this weekend's LDS Church's April or October General Conference. And yes, I've already consulted the Urim and Thummim and have looked into the skies and have seen a vision. And so I will give you that vision right now. So, this morning, the moon, it's a-rising, it's waxing, and it's getting closer to Mars. Now, Mars is President Russell M. Nelson. How do I know this? Yeah, Travis, how do you know this? This is weird occult stuff. Sort of like the pentagram on the Salt Lake Temple. That kind of occult? No, not that. That's a different... That's God. Yeah, whatever. So, when Monson died, you know Monson, right, Mormons? President Monson, Thomas S. Monson, accused of sexually assaulting a woman while he was driving alone with her in a vehicle. That Monson? What? I never heard about that. Of course you didn't. Church silenced it, paid her off. That's what they do with everybody. They pay them off so that they'll be silent. And so he dies. And on that night there was a sign in the heavens, stars falling from the tail of the dragon, quadranted meteor showers in Draco. Revelation 12. And Mars was at the top of Libra. Libra are the scales of judgment. The top of the scales of judgment makes that the judge. Mars was now the judge, as Monson was dead. Who takes over the church now? Mormons? We've been led to believe that, oh, the Lord can pick anybody. No, it's already set in stone, so to speak. In the 1923 Articles of Incorporation, only the President of the Quorum of the 12 can succeed the President of the Church. Just like the American Crime Organization. So if Al Capone was the lieutenant in Chicago, who was the lieutenant for Utah? Salt Lake City specifically. And so Mars is Nelson. And so you can follow Nelson previous or prior to that event to see what Nelson has been doing on Earth. And you will correspond with the horrors when he created the Hitler Youth that one summer, where his wife also revealed that they're compromised by Russia. And if you don't remember, and a major city yet to be determined in Russia. It's like Mormons just don't even care about their religion. They don't care about the Book of Mormon. They don't care about Joseph Smith. And so here we have Mars. It's in Pisces. Now Pisces is significant for Babylonian purposes. There's a fish god named Dagon. He's the bad guy. Babylon bad, Babylon to fall. Me Tarzan, you Jane. In section 1 of the Doctrine and Covenants, verse 16, even Babylon the Great, which shall fall. Babylon will fall. Who is Babylon? Well, in section 1, it's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Also the Great and Abominable Church in the Book of Mormon, and of which John the Revelator calls the whore of all the earth. And with the connection to Russia, now we know why. And so, if you've been paying attention, the day before Nelson's birthday, when we had the great storm, the autumn Aritids, I probably butchered the phonetics, Aritids, it's just meteors, appeared to the right of Mars. They're now to the left of Mars, as I'm hoping to be putting these pictures up for you from the Urim and Thummim. Remember, Abraham had the Urim and Thummim, saw the heavens. That's what I'm referring to, Mormons. And then his birthday comes, and he says thanks to all the well wishes, as he and the church do nothing to help Utah. They helped everywhere else where there were a disaster in the world, not Utah. But there was a lawsuit filed on that day. Happy birthday to you. You're going to prison. It's not likely because, well, this is the Exodus time. The Exodus began on the evening of the 18th of this month. That's Rosh Hashanah, when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. That's the Jewish New Year of the, let's see, civil calendar. The religious one is in the springtime, during Passover period in that area. And so, yes, there's a direct connection with the scriptures and these signs. You have to understand your scriptures about the Exodus period and the events of the Exodus in order to interpret the signs correctly for these days. It's in that context. And so, when was it? It was the 25th, I think, a week after the New Year, that the southern Taurids also appeared next to Mars. Just poop, there it was on the screen. I'm going, oh wow, okay. More falling stars next to Mars. And the northern Taurids are in the Pisces, but they're further away. This morning, the autumn and the southern are like right on top of each other. So now the question is, how do we understand what's going to happen for conference? I've pointed out that the church has been served, and it was for Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement. That was on Sunday night, the 27th, as the first day of Yom Kippur was Monday. And that was the big attack on computer systems throughout the United States in various different ways. I heard another one after I did that video. Another attack, and it was in a different form even still from all the various ones that affected everybody else that I'd heard about, and even me I was a target as well. And so atonement is for cleansing. You atone, you're cleansed. You're pure. You're holy again. And also judged. And so if you fail the judgment, well, you're not cleansed. You're destroyed because you're wicked, evil. And so that's what we need to identify and determine here, because Mars, as Nelson, is in Pisces, and he's got falling stars all over the place, as this is the 3rd anniversary of the sign of the Son of Man. Revelation chapter 12, guys. Sign of the Son of Man. He gave us a specific date, which we can use our Urim and Thummim stellarium to find out the exact date, because he gave us such precise information that there's only one day and 1 hour, sorry Matthew, that this could occur on. And so is that enough setting up for you without going over all my previous videos? And so we've got conference coming up this week, and it's on the first day of Sukkot. Not Sukkot, Sukkot, which means booth or tabernacle. Yes, exactly like the Exodus tabernacle in the wilderness, the Akhenaten of Akhenaten, that had palm leaves over the top of it. But palm leaves were when Jesus was going to be crucified. Again, don't put too much trust into Matthew. He makes a number of mistakes. And so, Sukkot is the halfway point of the first month of the new year. And so we had the new year, and now 2 weeks later, Sukkot. And it commemorates the Exodus. Huh. How do we know it commemorates the Exodus? Why, Travis, it's in the scriptures. And Leviticus chapter 23, verse 42. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days, and all that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths, that your generation may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths. Notice it's not Jews, and yet the Jews are the only ones obedient to this. When I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I am the Lord your God. Notice it's 7 days. How many months has the coronavirus been a situation in the United States of America? Remember the coronavirus, creeping death, the mysterious death killer that was invisible, that killed off the firstborn of Egypt, ended the succession of the dynasty of Egypt, so that Moses then was now the Pharaoh, the Melchizedek, the great king, Lord of Lords, the great high priest. Wonder if that has anything to do with Christ, or what the Jews call a Messiah. And let's see, so in March was when it started for us here in the United States. So April, May, June, July, August, September, now we're entering into October. 7. Sure, it's just a coincidence. Exactly. And so, it should be scary, but it's so awesome that the fear sort of takes a back seat. And so, Sukkot is also ingathering. That's the Feast of the Ingathering, which is celebrated for these booths, tabernacles. Remember, temple, palm leaves, temple. What about the latter days? Oh, an exodus to where? The temple. The new temple. New Jerusalem, Zion, temple. Where all must flee, or they must take up the sword. It's the only place on earth that will not be at war one with another. Temple, exodus, necessary. And so the Feast of Ingathering is the harvest time. Notice in the book of Matthew, he talks about people gathering to Jesus to hear Jesus speak unto them. And he begins with sacrament. 2 fishes. You mean like Pisces? And loaves of bread. Ingathering. Harvest. Wheat harvest. Bread. I'm sure it has nothing to do with anything. As the sign of the Son of Man had Jupiter at the Bethlehem star, the house of bread, Spica, which is in this same time period, middle of September, middle of October, for the Exodus. And so the concept of gathering is the key of the office of Moses, or the key of Moses, the priesthood key. And when did that happen to Joseph Smith? Oh, it was during Passover, wasn't it? When the Jews set out an extra place setting and for this guy named Elijah. Who else appeared in Kirtland Temple when Moses appeared and gave Joseph Smith the key of Moses for the office of Moses? Because it wasn't the key of the kingdom that Brigham Young claimed was from Peter, James, and John, which was only for ministering the keys or ministering the gospel of the kingdom. He sort of exalted himself on that. But yes, Elijah also came during Passover to the Kirtland Temple, to Joseph Smith. And you need to understand, Mormons are not supposed to be Christian. Remember Jesus? The whole first vision thing? Christianity is an abomination. Creeds are pure evil. No, don't join any Christian church. Remember all that? There's a reason. And then the Book of Mormon says the learning of the Jews. Yeah, we're not Christian Mormons. And so, yes, the sacrament is about the gathering that is to take place. And it has Egyptian roots and branches, specifically a twig, as Ezekiel calls it. But that's other information. But yes, it all has to do with the Son of God, the Son of Man, the Messiah, the man like Moses, the one mighty and strong. Many different names, many different stories symbolizing and prophesying of him. Samson, the Sun King. I've gone over that as well. But Moses is the sign of signs, the prophecy of prophecies. And that's what we're mainly going over here. And so now we need to find out if the full moon will be with Nelson on conference, because he really needs that as he's got falling stars. And so true church, right, Mormons? Surely it's the true church, and therefore God will make the moon, which represents religion, the sun represents government, the moon will be full for conference weekend, for Sukkot, the Feast of Ingathering, booths, tabernacles, temple, the Exodus. Because I told you, it's Exodus month. This is it. And so Nelson's the one. He's the one who claims he's in the office of Moses, with the keys of the kingdom of Peter, James, and John instead of the keys of Moses. So we can then look through our Urim and Thummim to find out if the moon will rise to the occasion. And so I have on my screen right now, this morning, I had it at 2 in order to have it centered. But let's press forward, saints. So now we go to the 31st, October 1st, because there's only 30 days, half September. Alrighty, so the moon is now full. Well, Travis, it's at 4 in the afternoon when it's officially full. So maybe, no. Sorry guys, doesn't make it. The full moon is when it's at the tail of Cetus. Yeah, the whale that swallowed, well, it didn't swallow Jonah, that was Capricorn. Jupiter was in Capricorn, or, yeah, was it in Capricorn? No, it hasn't reached Capricorn yet. It was the moon that was in Capricorn, yeah, so, yeah. Jonah and the whale already happened. And so, it's at the tail of the water beast. It didn't make it. And so now from this point on, it's now waning. Falling. Uh-oh. Mormons. Oh no. Oh no. We already have falling stars. The southern Taurids, the northern Taurids, the autumn whatevers. Aritids. And so, oh no, what's going to happen for conference weekend, Mormons? Mormons, no! There it is on the 2nd, that's Friday. Oh, it's still at the tail. It's about to leave the tail. And there, conference morning on Saturday, there it is in conjunction with Mars, with the falling stars, as it's falling itself. Oh, Mormons, this is not good. Uh-oh. I'm sure we can just wish this all away, right? We just won't listen to my video, and it won't happen, right? If we don't listen to Travis, it won't come true. We'll be deniers of the truth. We'll call it truthers. Truthers are deniers of the truth. Hey David, how you doing? I haven't heard from you in a while. You were putting out a whole bunch of comments a couple of days ago. My goodness. So yeah, that's the conference forecast. It's not good. Falling star. And so yes, the lawyer whom I call Thad because of his email, it was actually Taylor Hadfield, replied the next day and had approved of the waiver of summons, and it's on. The thing is that the previous lawsuit took a whole year. 11 months, technically, for Judge Waddups to violate his oath of office and not recuse himself, as he violated the law in dismissing my case. And this one's for sedition, guys. That inverted pentagram, that falling star on the Salt Lake Temple, on the Eagle Gate, that's the symbol of Lucifer. You can't escape that. You can't redefine it. That's not how it works. Because you have people who know the real meaning of the sign, and they're going to go, oh, they're one of ours. If they're Luciferians, followers of Lucifer, they will know and recognize the sign. That's the whole purpose for signs, is for people to know and recognize what it means. That's why the signs in the heavens are as they are. You cannot redefine them. You can't interpret them so that they're happy. They're frown turned upside down stuff. All faith promoting. Because these are the latter days. This is the days of apostasy. These are the days of destruction. These are the days of falling. And what we've all believed was the true church, turns out they're actually the Illuminati church of Lucifer. Contend against no church but the church of the devil. We know that, Mormons. That's why I'm an LDS critic. So, have I covered everything? Fish and bread, Jesus, falling half of the first month, commemorating the Exodus, and all in Pisces, falling stars, Dagon. Yep, Babylon shall fall. So the question is, as we know, the prophecies are Babylon shall fall, which is the church in the context of section 1, which the church service missionaries for the 1981 version, as they tried to decode the codes in the Doctrine and Covenants, they obviously missed Babylon. Why did they miss Babylon? I'm sure it's because they didn't know what it was supposed to be, right? Because I'm sure that the only people who could break a covenant in the temple, the new and everlasting covenant in verse 14, or was it 15? Was it 15? Let's go over it. I mean, those are Presbyterians or Methodists, right, Mormons? They have the everlasting covenant, and they broke it. Right? Yeah, 15. For they have strayed from mine ordinances. He uses they. That's kind of vague, Joseph. We need to know specifically who they are. Is it everybody in the world? Is Methodists and Presbyterians, are they the ones who strayed from the Lord's ordinances? Have broken the everlasting covenant? No. There's only one group, guys. I've been trying to warn you. Come ye out of the church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Come ye out of Babylon. So, yep. So when they seek not the Lord to establish his righteousness, and they walk in their own way, oh, Mormons, this is not looking good for you. And I've been trying to help you. I'm really trying to save you, because section 103, here's the Exodus. Joseph Smith gives us the Exodus. Verse 16 of 103. Therefore I will raise up unto my people a man who shall lead them like as Moses led the children of Israel. He's the Christ, Mormons. He's who you're looking for. A mortal man, a Mormon, just like you. And he will lead the church after it has fallen. And what's significant about this, and why I've been warning you, hoping you would pay attention, hoping you would understand, and not resist, not ignore, not run away. Brave Sir Robin, run away, is because they that have laughed shall see their folly, and calamity shall cover the mocker. Where in 45, I read first from 49, and the scorner shall be consumed. So, are you laughing at me? Are you mocking me? Are you scorning me? Uh-oh. And they that have watched for iniquity, are you looking to hope that I will make a mistake and commit some kind of a sin that you can justify me away? Aha! Shall be hewn down and cast into the fire. And then shall the Jews look upon me and say, wait a minute, if Babylon is not Babylon, and the United States of America is the location, not Jerusalem, is it the Jews that Joseph Smith is talking about here? Is it? Are we sure? We already read how Joseph is going after Mormons. Oh, and there's more in the Doctrine and Covenants. It shall begin at my house. The temple? Whose temple? Mormon's temple? Bad Mormons in the temple? Uh-oh. And then 85, the one mighty and strong will set in order the temple. Wait a minute, didn't Joseph restore the temple and the rituals performed therein? Oh, right, that keystone inverted pentagram. Uh-oh. Falling star. Uh-oh. Mormons. Mormons! Then shall they know that I am the Lord. And it's not some Christian Jesus who's a supernatural being Trinity who comes from outer space. No. The outer space thing was the sign in the heavens. The sign of the Son of Man. Mormons are going to know the Mormon who is to be the Christ. And pay attention. And then shall they weep because of their iniquities. They're the Church of the Falling Star. It doesn't get more wicked than that. Then shall they lament because they persecuted their king, King Emmanuel, the Son King, the Son God, the Christ. You're looking for the Son God, Mormons. He's Mormon. The scriptures all testify of him. Like I said, Ezekiel calls him a twig and says that he gives his birthplace, gives his birth nativity, which is different than his birthplace. Says he's moving to a land of great waters, Great Lakes. And then he moves to the top of the mountain. And as we know from Moses, Moses goes to the top of mountains. Makes it regular. And so yes, you're looking for somebody who's hiked to the top of mountains. You should know who he is. If you just have been studying your scriptures, if you only knew who to look for and not look beyond the mark. At that day when I shall come in my glory, shall the parable be fulfilled which I spake concerning the 10 virgins. How many Mormons are there that are going to be foolish? That's a 50-50, right? And who are the wise virgins? Well, they're obviously the rich elite, right? Oh, Mormons. How oft have I called thee? And thou knewest me not. So the thing is that this lawsuit that has just gotten started is not expected to end this month. If it were allowed to take its full course, it would carry off over into next year. Assuming, of course, Trump doesn't follow through with his promises to declare martial law on Election Day. I'm sure Trump won't fulfill his promises. I mean, sure, he's learned his lesson by now. I'm sure we can just acquit him and that he will have learned his lesson and he will go on to try to be a good president, right? Yeah, I'll hold my breath. This is it. This is the chance of a lifetime. This is it. Alrighty. So there's the forecast for conference. And yeah, it's not faith promoting, is it, Mormons? Not faith promoting at all. But prophecy will be fulfilled because it looks like there will be a falling of the church. The question is, how? I don't know how. It's not going to be by me. I've done my part with the lawsuit. But Pharaoh keeps saying no. Imagine that. Fulfilling prophecy. So the question is, how? Will it be coronavirus? Killing off the firstborn? Will it be on the day of conference weekend? Will it be a month, plus or minus? Which now has to be a plus, because minus is almost over with. Or will it be a time period? See, if you've been paying attention, signs in the heavens are different and have different timing with them. I first recognized that the pattern was correct that I was taught about in my education, that the ancients believed that the sun, when it's eclipsed, represents the death of the kingdom or collapse of the dynasty or the government. And so, oh, neat story, cool. But then Faust, James E. Faust, counselor in the first presidency. Remember him? Last conference he gave, which has been deleted, he told the apostles directly, I now speak unto you, the apostles, my fellow brethren. Follow the president of the church. Do not create your own doctrines. and then he dies. And then a lunar eclipse occurs, a total lunar eclipse. And I thought, wow, well, that's interesting, because the moon is religion, sun is government, Faust is religion. He's a religious leader. And he died within a month of this lunar eclipse. Huh, cool. Went about my life. Hinckley dies within a month of a lunar eclipse. Holy crap, that's 2. What's going on? This is very curious. But then the church had me arrested and locked up for 6 years of my life, just for filing a petition for a redress of grievances, because that's a naughty no-no. You can't follow your First Amendment rights in the state of Utah, especially against the church. And so when I got out in 2014, what did my wondering eyes did hear? But a lunar eclipse. And I went, oh, I wonder if a president of the church or an apostle, prophet of the church will die. Nothing. Oh, okay. I guess that was just an interesting coincidental thing that occurred way back when. But then October comes for the Harvest Conference, and another total lunar eclipse. And I went, oh, 2. Oh, okay. So this is going to be interesting. Will it be 2 prophets instead of just 1? Let's find out. Nothing. Then April conference comes around. And on the morning of April conference, a total lunar eclipse. This time, the news decides to inform us, oh, this is part of a tetrad. There's going to be a 4th one in October 2015. This is a time frame fulfillment, not on the day fulfillment, not a plus or minus month fulfillment. This is a time frame fulfillment. Oh. So after the 3rd total lunar eclipse that began the morning of Saturday session of April General Conference. Dun, 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 dun. Boom, boom, boom. God strikes down 3 falling stars. Perry, Packer, and then Scott barely makes it within the time frame. And 3 new apostles had to be called, and thus the sign of the Son of Man, because it says 12 stars on the crown of the Virgin who gives birth to the Son of Man. On the 23rd of September 2017. In the first year of the reign of King Trump, puppet king of Putin. It's already been confirmed. Senate Intelligence Committee came out with Volume 5, which confirmed Putin put Trump on the throne. And the taxes that have come out, yeah. The news is not telling us. They're all distracting us by, oh, Trump's a failure in business. Oh, Trump didn't pay any taxes. He's a money launderer. You don't pay taxes as a money launderer. You just funnel the money through. You don't make profit. No, you just funnel money through for people like Putin. Through Deutsche Bank, whom the church also invests in. falling stars. So, yes. And you notice how I worded the first year of the reign of King Trump? Go back and read your Book of Mormon. The very first page, very first chapter, very first book, 1 Nephi chapter 1. In the first year of the reign of King Zedekiah, king of Judah. Who put Zedekiah on the throne? You got to go to Jeremiah to find that answer. Babylon. Babylon. And then Lehi has a dream of the heavens. Oh, that's what John the Revelator... Oh, the sign of the Son of Man. He has a dream of the sign of the Son of Man? That Babylon's going to... or Jerusalem's going to be destroyed by Babylon? Jerusalem? But it's not Jerusalem, it's the United States. So, the United States? Yes. Interpretation is crucial. Otherwise, you're going to get off onto tangents that are going to be wrong. And then you're going to live your life going, I wonder why it never happened the way I said it was going to happen. You know, like Brian David Mitchell, who's rotting in prison now, wondering why didn't it happen the way it was supposed to happen? I'm the Son of Man. It's supposed to be me. Or Chad Daybell, who's now in prison or in jail, awaiting his hearing or sentencing or whatever. I think he's pleading innocent, isn't he? Well, gruesome details about what he did to his kid. Dear God. You know, he himself. I'm going to bring about the second coming. Me. I will do it. And everybody will bow to me. The prophecies tell you exactly who to look for. A checklist of all the requirements. So Matthew does get that part sort of right. When the wise men come and say, hey, we saw the sign of the Son of Man in the east, and we've come to worship him. Where is he? And Herod says, priests, where is he? Let us consult the bones. The bones tell me nothing. Willow. Awesome movie. Awesome. And oh, the red hair. Oh. You dwelt in darkness without me and it went away? I can do all this because nobody's watching, right?